So for this video, I'm gonna name my top 10 greatest NFL free agency signings, counting down the 10 greatest free agent signings in NFL history, not just the big names. I'm looking at the whole package, how good the player was at his peak with the team, how long did the run lasted, and how much team success came from it. Some guys signed huge deals and didn't really change anything. These players though actually transform franchises, championships, MVP seasons, Hall of Fame runs, the type of signings that make general managers look like geniuses. Number 10, Priest Holmes to the Chiefs. This one's kind of crazy because Priest Holmes wasn't even a superstar when Kansas City signed him in 2001. He was a good running back in Baltimore, but nothing close to what he became. Then he lands in Kansas City and immediately becomes the most dominant running back in football. From 2001 through 2003, Holmes was basically a touchdown machine. In 2002, he rushed for 1,615 yards and 21 touchdowns. The next year, he broke the NFL record with 27 rushing touchdowns, and it wasn't just his stats. The Chiefs' offense with Priest Holmes, Trent Green, and that incredible offensive line became one of the most explosive units in football. Priest Holmes made 3 straight Pro Bowls, was a 2-3-time first team All-Pro, and also finished top 3 in MVP voting. For a signing that came out of nowhere, it turned into one of the most productive peaks we've ever seen. Number 9, Deion Sanders to the 49ers. Number 9 is one of the most electric players ever. Deion Sanders signing with the 49ers. Now technically, he was only there for one season in 1994, but what a season it was. Deion Sanders had arguably the greatest year ever for a defensive back. He won Defensive Player of the Year, had 6 interceptions, 3 defensive touchdowns, and completely shut down half the field. And the biggest thing, he helped the 49ers finally get past the Dallas Cowboys. San Francisco beat the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game and then dominated against the Chargers in the Super Bowl. That defense already had stars, but adding Deion Sanders pushed them over the top. Sometimes one elite player changes everything, and in 1994, that's exactly what happened. Number 8, Rod Woodson to the Ravens. This one's interesting because Rod Woodson was already a legend with the Steelers. When Baltimore signed him in 1998, he was in his mid-30s, but he reinvented himself at safety and became the leader of one of the greatest defenses ever assembled. In 2000, that Ravens defense allowed just 165 points the entire season, the fewest in a 16-game season, and Rod Woodson was the veteran of that secondary. His experience and intelligence helped anchor a unit that included Ray Lewis, Tony, and Sam Adams. Baltimore went on to win Super Bowl 35, and Woodson added another ring to a Hall of Fame career. Number 7, Tom Brady to the Buccaneers. Number 7 might be the most famous free agency signing ever. Tom Brady to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When Brady left New England in 2020, it felt surreal. 20 years with one franchise, and then suddenly he's wearing pewter and red. And then in his first season as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, they win the Super Bowl. Brady didn't just play well, he elevated the entire organization. The Buccaneers went from a talented but inconsistent team to championships almost overnight. He threw 40 touchdowns in 2020, beating Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and of course Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. and delivered Tampa Bay's second Lombardi trophy. Even after that, he kept producing huge numbers. For a short-term signing, the impact, it was massive. Number 6, Curtis Martin to the Jets. This was a huge move because Curtis Martin was already a star with the Patriots, and Bill Parcells basically brought him over to help rebuild the Jets. And Martin delivered immediately. He rushed for 1,287 yards his first season and helped lead the Jets to the 1998 AFC Championship game. But what really makes this signing special is the longevity. Curtis Martin spent 8 seasons with the Jets, rushing for over 10,000 yards, and in 2004, being over 31 years old, he actually won the NFL rushing title with 1,697 yards. Reliable, durable, productive, one of the most consistent running backs the league has ever seen. Number 5, Peyton Manning to the Broncos. Remember, this move came after multiple neck surgeries, and a lot of people weren't sure if Peyton Manning would ever even return to elite form. Then he shows up in Denver and immediately proves he's still Peyton Manning. From 2012 through 2014, he produced one of the greatest quarterback runs ever. The peak, of course, came in 2013, throwing 55 touchdown passes and 5,477 yards, both NFL records, still NFL records. The Broncos reached 2 Super Bowls during his tenure, and of course won one during the 2015 season. Even though that final year was more about the defense, Manning's arrival completely changed the trajectory of the franchise. Number 4, Adam Vinatieri to the Colts. Number 4 is, yes, a kicker, and honestly, I don't care what anyone says, it's deserved. He deserves to be top 5 in this list. Adam Vinatieri signing with the Indianapolis Colts. Vinatieri was already famous for his clutch kicks with the Patriots, but when he joined Indianapolis in 2006, he extended his legacy. That first season ended with a Super Bowl victory, and Vinatieri did play a huge role in that championship run. Over the years, he became the most reliable kicker in football. Field goals, extra points, big moments, he delivered constantly. He also stayed with the Colts for more than a decade, becoming the NFL's all-time leading scorer. For a position that often gets overlooked, Vinatieri gave Indianapolis incredible stability. Number 3, Charles Woodson to the Packers. When Green Bay brought him in, people thought his best years might be behind him. Instead, he consistently played at an all-pro level. Charles Woodson became the centerpiece of the Packers defense. In 2009, he won Defensive Player of the Year after recording 9 interceptions and 3 defensive touchdowns. He was versatile too, playing the corner, safety, blitzing off the edge, forcing fumbles. He did everything. And of course, the Packers went on to win Super Bowl 45 during his tenure. Over 7 seasons, he made multiple Pro Bowls and re-established himself as one of the best defensive backs in football. Number 2, Reggie White to the Packers. This was huge because Reggie White was the first true superstar free agent after the modern free agency system started, and he chose Green Bay, a smaller market team, which shocked a lot of people. Once he arrived, he immediately transformed the defense. Reggie White recorded 68.5 sacks in 6 seasons with the Packers. His presence also helped attract other players and helped turn Green Bay back into being a contender. The Packers eventually won Super Bowl 31, and Reggie White cemented his legacy as one of the greatest defensive players of all time. Number 1, Drew Brees to the Saints. This one changed an entire franchise. When the Saints signed Brees in 2006, he was coming off a serious shoulder injury, and the Chargers had just moved on. The Saints, they took their risk, paired him with Sean Payton, and the result was one of the most productive quarterback eras of all time. Drew Brees became the face of the Saints franchise for pretty much 15 seasons, breaking passing records left and right. He led the Saints to consistent playoff appearances and, of course, most importantly, a Super Bowl victory in the 2009 season. But beyond the stats, he completely changed the identity of the organization. Before Brees, the Saints were mostly an afterthought historically. After Brees, they became one of the most exciting and respected teams in the league. Elite peak, incredible longevity, and a championship that meant everything to the city of New Orleans. That's why Drew Brees to the Saints sits at number 1. So that'll be it for this video. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. I much appreciate it if you click that like button. Thank you for watching.